Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And it's time for our star ratings, as chilly cold as they might be, for AEW Full Gear.
You know,
Yes.
They may not be as piping hot as this cup of tea I have here in my hand, but it's still warmer than
Those
other guys' star ratings. Got to wait like a whole week before you get those.
Damn near December, Christmas time by the time you get
know.
the other guys' Full Gear star ratings.
So-
And as always, Larson, we ask the friendos out there to help us with our goal of becoming those other guys. We want our star ratings to be debated, the source of toxicity online.
No. Debated,
yeah.
sure. Discussed, yeah.
Yeah,
Toxicity, absolutely not.
1,000% yes. Otherwise, we'll never be those other guys, Larson. Anyways, we can agree to disagree on this one. But let's see if we agree to agree on any of these star ratings. What's first?
First, let's go with the Big Boom AJ taking on QT Marshall. Steve, what'd you give that one?
Boom!
How many booms?
I did not give this the full 5 booms, Larson, because I think that would be a little bit on the ridiculous side. However, especially now in light of the reporting that Big Boom AJ walked into this match with a broken foot.
No, he broke it during the match.
No, the reporting that I saw was okay. I thought
was it Fightful that said he broke it before the match?
So I thought Fightful said that, but then I saw other stuff that said he broke it before the match. So
I thought
in any event,
during the match. Well, he had a broken foot during the match at some point.
yeah, at some point he had a broken foot. My God, I gave this 3 booms. I thought they did what I think they exceeded expectations. I don't know what anybody expected. They exceeded expectations. Lots of heat, and yeah, I thought it was a fine match.
Broken foot before the show. Earlier in the day. Largely kept it to himself.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 3 booms. Do 3 booms for that. Wrestled that whole match with a broken foot. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. He still delivered the power boom.
He did.
Wow. Pretty impressive
Sorry to
stuff.
correct you. I guess I was
they did a
talking out my
superplex
ass.
and everything.
I know. Guess I should know what I'm talking about before I open my mouth. Next. In which case, I might as well stop doing these star ratings right now then.
Next match.
Next match, the first match of the main card was the tag team 4-way bout. You had Private Party defending against the Acclaimed, Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne. This match existed solely to advance the story of the Acclaimed breaking up, which I thought was a bit of a disservice to the other teams involved, primarily the champion, Private Party. This match was all right. Felt like there was more that could have been delivered here from a creative standpoint. There's other stories you could tell. Execution was fine. I just gave it 3 1/4. I thought it was a solid bout, but I didn't really think it went much above solid.
I'm not that far away. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought people did their job well, and a lot of talent in this match, and I thought that they showed out, but not like to a ridiculous degree, not even a 4-star degree. I gave it 3.5 stars. Thought it was fun. In fact, a lot of the matches on this card, I thought, this was fine. Yeah. And then it was sort of buoyed by a couple of, wow, what a really good match.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of sort of mid-level matches on this card, and this is one of them. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah. Let's move on to MJF defeating Roderick Strong. What'd you give this one, Steve?
Again, it sort of like enters into, this was fine. It was a good match. I feel like, I don't know, number one, they only gave it 13 minutes or something like that. Yeah. I feel like they probably could have done something a bit more compelling, perhaps. I gave it 3 3/4. I thought it was nearing one of those just straight up solid AEW. Oh boy, this is a good match. This is a really good match, but 3 3/4 didn't quite get there.
Yeah, I did 3 3/4 too. Gave it 3 3/4. Everything you said, I thought it was pretty good. Roderick Strong's one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Oh, dude, he's awesome.
This match brought the urgency.
It did.
So yeah, 3 3/4.
It was just, also with this one, dude, bit of a foregone conclusion. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of drama. They didn't, and I'm fine with a straight up clean match, but I don't mind a little bit of overbooking to add some intrigue. They didn't even really do that until like after the match, the post match stuff. So yeah, 3 3/4.
All right, let's move on to Mercedes Moné
Moné
versus Chris Statlander. This match was really, really good. It was pretty fantastic, in fact. I understand some people's qualms about the finish, and for me, it wasn't so much the idea of the finish. The execution, maybe it wasn't as crisp as they would hoped.
It was kind of wobbly.
A little bit. If it was as crisp as envisioned, I imagine it probably maybe been accepted by some a little better. That being said, I gave it 4 1/4. I thought there was a lot to like about this match, and just because the finish wasn't executed perfectly, it doesn't diminish the work throughout, which I thought was very good.
I'm on the same page as you, man. 4 1/4 stars. I thought they brought the boom here. This was a really, really good match. And yeah, maybe if that finish was a bit more crisp, I think there's something to be said about, I think people really like Chris Statlander. And I think when you have the crowd that sort of at the end of the match are like, as opposed to like either heavy boos or heavy cheers or something like that. But that's sort of, it's what's going to happen given that they are continuing on Mercedes Monet's title run.
Yeah.
People love Chris Statlander. I mean, you turn Chris Statlander face and you let her do cool shit, man, people are going to respond to that.
You got that right.
In any event, now we're on the same page, man. 4 1/4.
Let's see if we're still on the same page as this next one. Hangman Adam Page losing again to Jay White. What'd you give this one, Steve?
Man, I thought this was a good match. I appreciate your comment, your thoughts on this during the recap, how you thought it hewed a little too close to their previous match. In any event, their previous match was really, really good. And I thought this was really, really good too. Hangman Adam Page continues to be one of them characters that I just absolutely love. The amount of just, frantic he brings to his character into these matches, I really appreciate. Gave it a straight up 4 stars.
I'm not too far off. I went 3 3/4. I gave their last match 4 stars, I believe, and I like that one a little bit better than this one. I wish there was an added wrinkle to the story of the match, so it wasn't so close to the previous bout, but the wrestling itself was really good. So 3 3/4.
I'll take one of them Blade Runners out of nowhere any day, man. I love that shit.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right. Probably the match of the night. It probably will be for each of us. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher getting that win. In actually somewhat dominant fashion at the end there. As you know, my scale has an upper limit of 5 stars.
You always know when we're going to be hitting that ceiling when you bust out that one.
Or close to it.
When you suspect. Yeah.
So I will not, and I'm not saying Steve is going to, I will not go above 5 stars. It's going to take something like mind-bogglingly, insanely creative and awesome for me to consider it.
Wait a second. Hold on. This is the first you've even approached the subject of you breaking your star rating. So it is a possibility.
I don't think it's highly likely, but I don't think it's likely. I'm pretty firm on the no upper limit, but I don't see it changing. But if somebody completely reinvents the idea of what a pro wrestling match is in the ring and utterly blows my mind doing it, then I guess it exists. It's possible.
Okay,
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I
think a rating system has to have an upper limit.
Okay, except if it doesn't.
Unless something is so transcendent that it makes me reconsider my entire ranking system.
Okay, man. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
That being said, 4 3/4 stars. I don't think this quite is to the max 5-star level. There was a couple spots in this match that didn't go off, I think, as written up. There was that spot where they were spilling out to the ring, and I think it was supposed to be like, it's a tough move to do, the head scissors right into the tombstone on the floor.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Where they didn't stick it, and that's fine. It happens. I'm not going to quibble over it. But if
you're
we're going
saying you could have done it better.
No. I would have done it all because I got a terrible neck.
Okay.
There's another spot in there that, again, the level of difficulty is insane.
Yeah,
and is incredibly ambitious to even try such things.
Right.
But that didn't detract from my enjoyment in the match in the least. I thought it was excellent, but not quite 5 stars. I went 4 3/4.
All right, there you go. I feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like I do have an upper limit of 6. But it's mine is much more flexible than yours because I don't think I've ever gone above 6.
I don't think you have either.
And it would take something really crazy. But to me, the 6, this is just a brief tangent. The 6 is a much more natural ceiling than 5. And I think that's probably why, because it's 4 is just straight up, okay, that's good. But then it's only another star until you're like, holy shit, match of the year, Okay. You got to get up to maybe that's 2 stars more. In any event, I didn't get to 6 on this one. I got to 5.25 on this one because I thought it was damn good. Might be up there with my match of the year candidates. I'm going to take a look at my matches of the year and see where I'm going to land on that. But yeah, man, 5.25. Love this stuff. You know you said there was a couple spots that maybe they missed, and you knocked it down to several stars for that. But I'm going to go ahead and say, you're gonna give
an extra quarter star because of that. That's what you're saying.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I like ambition, especially when it's so ambitious you can't actually do it. So yeah, I gave it 5.25, man.
All right, let's move on to the TNT Championship match: Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. What'd you give this one, Steve?
I gave it 3.25. It was fine. It was good. Like, they're both good wrestlers, but like, I don't know. I'm not the whole like, sacrifice me thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? What's the point of that? Are you just tired? Are you just like, all right, I'm good to go. I'm ready.
In my 15 minutes for my match. I'm good.
Right, exactly. Maybe Jack Perry in character is thinking his character will grow from having to chase a title. I don't know. Anyway, I gave it 3.25. I thought these guys are fine.
Wait, 3.25 or 3.75?
What did I say? 3.25 is what I meant. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, 3.25. I think Daniel Garcia is capable of a better match.
Yeah.
Jack Perry, maybe.
Yeah.
If he was in there with CM Punk, perhaps.
Maybe, so long as there's real glass.
Yes, correct.
Not too far off. I gave it 3.5. I thought by the time the match came around to the finish, I was into it enough that I was like, all right, this is a relatively well executed 3.5 star match.
Okay, there you go.
All right, Steve, I'm going to let you go first on this one. I'm interested in what you have to say. Takeshita successfully defending the International Championship against Ricochet. What'd you give this one?
Man, I don't know. Like, this match just didn't do it for me. When you think of, it's bizarre to think that like Ricochet's in-ring seems like it was better in WWE. Because like, I don't know, he just hasn't, I don't see it yet. This wasn't the match. 2.75.
I'm not that far off. I gave it 3 stars.
You gave it 3?
You know what's interesting though is if this was Takeshita against, I don't know. I think there's expectations obviously involved with the reputation of Ricochet against just about anybody, especially anybody who's incredibly athletic like Takeshita. What?
You know what, though, dude? Here's the thing, though. Since he's been in AEW, we've both been kind of on the same page. Like, he's not really bringing it.
He's put on weight. Really... He's put on muscle since, like before he was in WWE. Like, he's a different wrestler now, I feel like. He's not the same guy that's going to have the match. Like, physically, he's a different wrestler than had that crazy match against Ospreay in Best of Super Juniors 2016,
Oh, completely. No, I don't disagree with that. But he seemed to be bouncier even just in WWE in the past 2 years. In the past, So, I do think that... I think that maybe there is something to be said about he's got to get some more reps in wrestling with more freedom, with more leeway, et cetera, et cetera. The pace that they wrestle as well. I think maybe he'll get there, but like he ain't there yet. And it honestly, like I keep on thinking, my expectations, Ricochet Takeshita is going to be good. But like at the end of the day, I kind of remember, he hasn't been impressing me all that much in AEW so far. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I cut off your point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, given that he's older and put on muscle since before he joined WWE, now to wrestle matches at that pace, he's got to adapt his style somewhat,
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like he was wrestling frenetic 20-minute matches in WWE.
You're right.
Maybe 3-minute matches on speed, but not 20-minute matches.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even a matter of cardio. It's just a matter of, okay, he's playing his mid-30s now. Might not have the first step quickness he did when he was 25. Now you got to adjust. You got to adjust your in-ring style. Maybe that's more what it is as opposed to...
Well, let me ask you this, dude.
What?
He didn't have a lot of opportunity in WWE to be even like big story guy.
No.
Because, when you lose a step, you got to rely on story.
Yeah, you got to
rely on
telling
story.
Yeah.
Right. And Ospreay's kind of been able to do both. Like, Ospreay put on a shit ton of muscle, but he still does some fun. He's not as quick as he was before, but he can still do crazy shit. And he's a world-class storyteller.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it might take time for Ricochet to, do that, maybe.
Yeah, that could be. That's what kind of I'm getting at. Yeah. Yeah. 3 stars. Let's go to Swerve versus Bobby Lashley. Like, the way this match was laid out, it wasn't going to be a 5-star match because that's not the point of the match,
Yeah.
This is a match to establish Bobby Lashley's dominance in AEW. And I thought the bits where Swerve got in a majority of his offense were constructed really creatively. The stomp off the ring steps onto the announce table I thought was really cool. There was some good creative stuff in here, but again, it wasn't just given the amount of time it was given, how it was laid out. The odds of this being a 5-star match were pretty low. I gave it 3.5 because I thought it set out to do something. It accomplished that very effectively in an entertaining fashion.
You and I are on the same page. 3.5 stars for me as well. This is not a derogatory thing. It felt like a WWE match. I think Bobby Lashley's going to give us the WWE matches, and maybe if they give him more than 13 minutes, which is what this match was.
Gosh, it felt shorter than that.
It did feel shorter. Yeah, I know. Going into it, I thought it was 10. But then I looked at it, and if I'm not mistaken, it is, where is it? Yeah, 13:35. Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know, maybe Bobby Lashley will give us some, if you put him with Swerve for a longer match, you'll get that 5-star. If you really tell the story of like Swerve having to dig deep to beat this guy and really get creative with it, I think they'll probably put on, what would be considered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a 4-star match or whatever. But yeah, I gave it 3.5 stars. It was perfectly entertaining.
Let's talk about the main event. Jon Moxley defeating Orange Cassidy, retain whatever's in that briefcase.
Oh, you think it might not be the world title?
I'm assuming it's a title, but we haven't seen it.
That's a good point.
What
do you think is like some doubloons?
Maybe.
Do you trade the title in for a gold bar?
Yeah, it's filled with gold bars.
That's really expensive. That's like one of them crown jewel championships at that point.
50,000 carats and diamonds.
50,000. I gave this 4.25 stars.
Wow.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked this match. Usually I'm not a big fan of the Mox match, but I thought these guys that, you said something on the show today also, urgency. I was like, oh shit, Orange Cassidy came out. He's in this to win it. And so I thought from there, both these guys, they did a great job of Orange Cassidy with that giant gaping fucking wound in his head. Yeah, he was bleeding a shit ton. And I thought there was just always that sense of urgency in this match. It went under 20 minutes. It was 19 minutes. And for them to keep up that intensity for that entire period of time, I feel like you don't get that a whole lot with Moxley. And we got it in this match. And when you can do that, then you're going to get a good score from Steve here. So I gave it 4.25, dude.
I didn't go quite that high. I went 3 3/4. This was still in portions enough of a Mox match for me to kind of become disinterested. And by that, I meant whenever he had the advantage offensively.
Yeah, right.
I was like, all right, he's doing the same old Mox stuff. But when Orange Cassidy would get his offense in, yes, that's when you'd feel the urgency. And that's when the match was at its best. So I settled on 3 3/4. It was a good match. It was really good.
It was a really good match.
It was
really 4.25 star match. Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Plotting heel Mox style matches is exactly my deal.
Well, there you go then. Anyways, we want to know what you guys think. So load up our comments here on this video with your star ratings for AEW's Full Gear. Of course, next week we've got Survivor Series. We're going to be doing our live watch along and reactions to that. And of course, about a week from now, our star ratings will already be up because we're going to get them up a little bit more fresh next time.
Yeah.
See you guys around.
Goodbye.